Thank you, everyone, and thank you for joining me. Was in South Africa last year, and it was the best trip of my life with my family, so I'm looking forward to go back to South Africa. We're going to discuss today beyond traditional investment, and beyond traditional investment means security tokens for us, and what are the advantages, and also what are the challenges in the industry. So as I said, my name is Itai Avneri. I joined INX nearly 3 years ago, just when we started our blockchain IPO, which I'll tell you more. Together with me here today is Bob Ajudume, our VP of Capital Markets, and David, our Director of Growth. What we are going to discuss today are a few things. The world is changing, no doubt. This is a fact. The question is, if we all agree, and we are all here, so I guess we agree, that the digitization of finance and the future of finance will be the next big thing that will happen, and how much time it will take this change to happen. I'll give you a short introduction about INX, a little bit about our past, present, and future through our eyes, where the industry is going. We'll discuss tokenization use cases, real live examples in action that we're already seeing in our platform. And as a foreigner, one of my, I'll say the most familiar brand that I know in Korea is Samsung. So I want to envision together with you, what if Samsung will take the tokenized path? What does it mean and how it will look like? The world is changing, we said, we agree. Let's look at few verticals. The first one is music. So we all know Spotify. I'm using Spotify quite heavily for my podcast and music. And Spotify was founded 2006, nearly 17 years ago. The market cap, or the market value of the music industry today, is evaluated at $35 billion with a compound annual growth of 15%. This is in 17 years. If we're looking at the transport company, I used Kakao Taxi for the first time yesterday, amazing service. I also know Uber, and I'm using Uber quite frequently. The transport industry is valued at $90 billion with a compound annual growth of nearly 17%. And holiday, who doesn't like holidays? Booking, Expedia, Airbnb, $100 billion market cap with an annual growth of 14%. All of those verticals grew in the past between 14 to 16, 17 years. Now, the question is how quickly the tokenization of assets industry and tokenization of real-world assets will grow. And we believe that it will be much faster. It's not only us who believe it will be much faster, it's actually many, many traditional institutions, TradeFi institutions, already saying that it will grow much faster. They are paving their way, they are moving forward, they are building the rails for tokenization of assets. Boston Consulting Group just recently projected the market to grow 50 times to a value of 16 trillion by 2030. So not that far away. This is a big, big statement, and they are not alone. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, one of the most reputable hedge funds in the industry or in finance, said the next generation for markets will be tokenization of securities. All of them are saying it now. We said it 6 years ago. 6 years ago, Shai Datika, the founder of INX, basically late 2017, said, I like the way to raise capital with a token, but I want to do it in a regulated way. So he went to the SEC and started a process with the SEC, Securities Exchange Commission in the US. It took Shai and a very small team around 3 years to get the first SEC-registered security token. We wrote, INX wrote, a full prospectus, 470 pages long of an F1 prospectus that is available online, and where we detailed how we're going to raise capital from the public. And towards the end of 2020, August 20 actually, we started our blockchain IPO, or security token offering. INX raised $84 million, coming from a little bit over 7,200 different retail investors from 73 countries. The token is on Ethereum network and is listed for secondary market, available 24/7 for the general public on our ATS. Since then, we were very busy in building the industry and leading the industry. Immediately after our token raise, we launched 2 platforms, one for securities and one for crypto. We acquired the relevant and important licenses. We are clear to operate in 46 states in the US for cryptocurrency. We hold a broker-dealer license in the US, alternative trading system license in the US, and a transfer agent license in the US. During 2022, we launched the first version of INX1. INX1 today is the only platform where you can trade cryptocurrency, invest in security token secondary market, and also raise capital if you are an issuer and wants to raise capital. This is part of the services that we provide. In 2023, we formed 2 very strong partnerships. The first one, which is very relevant to what the panel here before me mentioned, is for CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. So we partner and formed a joint venture with SICPA, a Swiss company that are, I would say, the expert in physical cash cycle. They print money, banknotes, for 180 governments around the world. And we are building a CBDC solution together with them that is based on the blockchain, which is relevant also for wholesale CBDC and retail CBDC, relevant for developing countries as well as advanced economies. And the essence behind it is how different countries protect their economic sovereignty and how they grow their overall GDP. This is the objective, and this is the solution that we are building. Next week, I'm going to be in the CBDC annual conference in Istanbul, and we'll share more details about this joint venture. But today, we are here to speak about tokenization and asset tokenization, securities, generally speaking. The second partnership that we announced just recently is with Republic. Some of you may know Republic, a leading investment platform in the US and also outside the US. Republic became an investor and hold a stake now in INX, and we also work on a collaboration. We are integrating the Republic wallet into our platform. We are going to list the Republic note on our platform for secondary market, and we are building a whole set of, I would say, distribution funnel between the Republic ecosystem and the INX ecosystem. In the past 6 months or so, we launched 7 primary offerings coming from different verticals, different industry with different economics behind them. 7 primary offerings only in the past 6 months, and also direct listings. We recently announced a FACTBLOCK listing, direct listing, the Republic note that I just mentioned, and other listings that are expected to happen by the end of the year, and will add tens of thousands of new investors to the INX community. We've gained a lot of experience in the past 3 years after our IPO, and now we are doing it for others. What we like to discuss is the breadth of the solution and that we can offer. Through a single point of entry, one onboarding, an investor in INX can trade cryptocurrency, can trade security tokens, and also, if you are an issuer, you can run your capital raise on our platform. So we are basically providing an end-to-end solution for all of those companies who wants to raise. There are few use cases that we can already mention. The first one is equity and debt. So basically, unlike tokenized shares, equity and debt use case is an equity form of a token, or token in the form of equity that represent dividend rights, that represent maybe voting rights that maybe represent yield rights. And when we're talking about debt, it can be converted to equity. And all of this can be encapsulated or embedded into the smart contract. This is one segment on one group that we are dealing with, and we already have an example with. The second segment is cash flow. Just like the INX token itself, the INX token enables or entitles the token holder 40% of the company profits, as we'll have them, will be distributed between the token holders. So cash flow token is very relevant, and we're seeing a lot of cash flow related tokens in our ecosystem. It can be based on profit, it can be based on revenues, and other things around it. Existing securities is very important. So if you take a private company or a public company, both of them we announced, both examples we announced. A public company that is trading on, let's say, NASDAQ or Canada can tokenize part of their shares and list the tokenized shares on our ATS. And the ATS is available 24/7, unlike maybe NASDAQ Monday to Friday, 9 to 4. So it gives you a much wider reach and much more potential liquidity. The next group is engagement token, fund token. There is a lot of chatter also in this conference around fund token, and we understand it. We understand that security token can basically represent the next level of loyalty program. It's not just about the financial attributes, it's also about the engagement and brand ambassador to the token itself. And even if you want to offer just voting rights or VIP tickets to a game or any other utility elements, you must do it in a compliant manner. And if you want to register in the US, you have to list this token in a regulated securities exchange that holds the relevant licenses just like INX. The last use case that I want to mention is remediation. There are thousands of security tokens out there today. The SEC just recently said that most of them are basically crypto asset securities. And if they are crypto asset securities, they have to file properly with the US. If they want to accept US customers and US residents to trade in a compliant and regulated manner, they have to file in the US and they have to register on a regulated securities exchange. So we are seeing a lot of, call it crypto asset securities that are coming our way now and building or finding a way together with us on how they can basically register in the US. All of those use cases are not happening for nothing. They are here because there are many advantages in doing a capital raise or a security token offering. I want to highlight some of the advantages and give you a few examples. The first one is non-dilutive. We raised $84 million INX without losing ownership of the company, without diluting our cap table. It cannot happen in a regular VC round. It cannot happen in a traditional IPO. This is why we call it a blockchain IPO. So security token is a non-dilutive instrument. That's the first thing. The second thing is when we are talking about fractionalization. If you're a big company, and we will see big companies coming into the space, and you want to tokenize just part of the business, one line of business, you can do it. You can tokenize one line of business, give your token holders some benefits on this specific line of business. We can see it in gaming. We can see it in other verticals, and without diluting or giving any benefits to the rest of the business. The second or the third thing is flexible tokenomics. I gave you a few examples on different tokenomics. We can do anything with the smart contract. Bring us your business. We'll think together with you and build together with you the tokenomics around your offering. Regulated DeFi is important. We carefully vet, and KYC every customer, every issuer, and every currency that is trading on our platform. So it's very CeFi in a way, centralized in a way. But also, When you trade security tokens on our platform, you have to link your own MetaMask. So it's your MetaMask, your wallet, your keys, not us. So it's DeFi in that sense. We like to call it a bridge between CeFi and DeFi. Custody is a big thing, and I will get to it in a minute. Loyalty program 3.0, as I said, this is what we envision. This is what we are seeing, how everything come together, both online and offline, and we're already seeing this coming to live. Global retail audience is key. Global retail audience means that everyone from around the world can join the INX community and trade security token in their own time zone. Security token just like any other stock, which also means that you can trade and invest in primary offering, trade security token, or invest in primary offering using your crypto. You cannot buy Apple or Nike or Amazon with your crypto. But on our platform, you can invest in a regulated way, in a security token offering with your crypto. In fact, in our capital raise, in the INX capital raise, 50% more or less of the investment came in crypto, and the 50% came in fiat. The last point that I want to mention is 24/7 availability. The platform is alive. The platform is working. 24/7 is the new standard. My son doesn't understand why he needs to wait until Monday morning if he wants to trade NASDAQ on a Sunday evening, for example. This will not happen in INX. I want to zoom in on one very, very important component. I mentioned the retail investor, and I mentioned the community. And we have to look at this new type of investors. I know that 85% of the crypto holders in Korea, we are here today, are between the ages of 16 to 44. They are digital native, they are technology savvies, basically were born with the phone in their head. And it means that they are very open to technology, and this language is not new for them. We also understand they are very active on social networks. They get all the data from the social networks, different social networks, and not like me, maybe from the Financial Times or the Washington Post. But they are always constantly online, and they are getting the data from social networks. They are underrepresented in traditional assets. And in fact, this is one of the core values, not necessarily a benefit, but the core value of a true security token offering, democratization of finance. A retail investor is getting the same terms exactly as the VC guy. And no more the days gone, the days that where those VC are leaving me with the leftovers are gone. They have higher risk for appetite, and they are very receptive for educational material. The last thing is that they need a sense of belonging. They want to make an impact, and they want to stand behind the community. And I want to mention the INX community, a very vivid and live INX community. We are very grateful and very appreciative of our community. I met few of our community in the past 24 hours, and I'm even more amazed of how dedicated they are all over the world, not just here in Korea or Japan, in the US, all over the world. The sense of belonging is very, very important, and this is why they become our best brand ambassador, and every one of them is like our marketing guy on the ground. All of those benefits and all of those things has a lot of challenges. There are few things that to mention around security token and hurdles of the industry. It's still a growing industry. It's growing very fast, but there are few challenges. And I want to share with you some of the challenges and how we address them and how we think they can become an opportunity. The first one is liquidity and distribution. Liquidity and distribution is key in any capital market environment. You want to have the volume, you want to have the investors coming in, and this is building. This is building over time. We can see that it's picking up very nicely in the past year, and we want to push it even more faster. This is one of the reasons that we partner with the Republic, and we will have access to their distribution network. and also to all of those companies that raised capital on the Republic network in a traditional way and tokenize their shares and list the shares on our ATS. So the liquidity and distribution around the industry is growing fast, and it will get to a tipping point where we'll start to see exponential growth. The second thing is about custodianship. Custodianship is a key. Yes, there are many advantages around self-custody model, as I mentioned before, the regulated DeFi. But if we want mass adoption, which is a challenge here for itself, we must find a way, and the regulators have a role here. We must find a way to enable custodianship as we know it from the traditional world. We know that it's moving forward. We know that the SEC didn't, for example, define exactly what is a qualified custodian for securities, but we are moving forward. We have a partnership with BitGo. We have a partnership with BitGo on several fronts. They are our custody solution for digital asset, cryptocurrencies, and now they will also provide custody through MetaMask institutions for security tokens. We're also integrating with their off-chain settlement network. So BitGo is one example on how we deal with the custody challenge. The second thing is disparity of technologies. We decided to do our token offering on Ethereum network. There are many other blockchains out there today, and we know that the foundations and the blockchains are working very hard to attract new issuers and new security token to be based on their platform. This is why we took a strategic decision to be basically blockchain agnostic. And today on INX1, not only that we support obviously Ethereum, but also if you want to list your token on Avalanche, you can do it, and also on Polygon, and more blockchains will come. So in generally speaking, we are blockchain agnostic, which means that we are also, as part of our vision, wallet agnostic. So MetaMask is today, but Republic Wallet is coming, and other wallets will be down the road as well. Mass adoption, it may be most important thing, and relates also to the distribution. Education. This is why we wrote a book about security token, the Bible of the industry, as we like to call it, and I will share with you later on. We believe that regulators, tech providers, issuers, everyone needs to be educated on the benefits of security token, on the process that is required in order to do a regulate security token offering, and this is key. The last thing that I want to mention is institutional participation. Yes, we value the retail. Yes, the business is built on a retail community, global retail community, as we said, but the big money will come from institutions. An institution needs to have the right foundations in place from a regulatory point of view, banking point of view, and other elements that they are maybe missing today. And we are working on different fronts to bring and attract institution into the tokenization play. And we saw all of those TradeFi names already moving forward with different initiatives. Samsung. Samsung is an important brand here. Who has a Samsung phone in his hand, or maybe a Samsung TV at home? I guess a lot of us. And I want to try and envision how would that look. What if Samsung took a tokenized path? And I know that they have a lot of financial products already in their network. I saw few only in the past 24 hours. And I know they have many users only in Korea consuming or using different financial products as part of the Samsung ecosystem. And this is one of the things that I see as an amazing example. We can look at it all. We can find an example also with Amazon or Uber or Nike for that matter. But let's zoom in on Samsung. Samsung can decide that they want to develop or launch a new product. And they can offer me as a potential token holder specific tokenomics embedded into a smart contract reflected or relevant to this new line of product that they will launch, to increase the overall communication, to increase the overall engagement with their user base. They can add utility elements to the token. So, for example, they can give me discounts when I buy a new device. They can give me early adapter access for their new device that will come around the corner or next year. They can give me a different service when I'm stepping into a store, an offline store, because my tokens will be hosted in my Samsung wallet, which is on my Samsung mobile. So when I walk into the store, they can immediately identify me as a token holder and give me maybe a different type of service. Distribution for Samsung is easy. They have billions of users, and obviously it's the easy and most important building block that I can mention. Custody as well, and regulation is the last maybe piece of the puzzle. I know that the Korean regulator, the Financial Services Commission, and the Korean Securities Depository are working very diligently and pushing forward the security token regulation. Korea will become the first, I would say, hub for security token. We closely monitor the progress around the security token regulation in Korea, and I believe it will be an amazing opportunity for the Korean market, generally speaking, as this regulation will evolve. Before I finish, I have 1 or 2 more minutes. I want to summarize. We, INX, believe in security token space. We believe that regulation is not a risk, it's an opportunity. And it doesn't prevent us from innovation. We believe that this is the right timing. We are all very fortunate to be here today. Just like maybe Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and Jeff Bezos were very fortunate to be in the right timing where personal computing started. We are all here today in the right timing when we see the launch of security token space. And whether you are a regulator, whether you are a tech provider, whether you are an educator and you have a community, please come and join our tokenization mission, because we have a long way to go and a lot of work. We can do this together. Kamchaida, thank you for joining. And as I said, the last piece of the puzzle, the book, you can scan the QR code to get a free copy of our INX book, where you get a lot of information about security token offering and, generally speaking, how we see the market going forward and what the services that we provide for the industry. Thank you.